Photostory-Farmer's Life. My name is Billy Maxwell. I'm 42. I have a wife and 2 kids. I'm a farmer of southern parts of Saskatchewan. The rising of prices post-recession of World War I. During this time, wheat prices increased, causing more people to produce more wheat. We got a high income from the high wheat prices, and I had more than enough money to support my family. The sudden drop of agriculture prices, Great Depression begins. Everyone thought the year that the Depression started would have been a good year for the farmers because of the rising of prices. This made farmers to plant more wheat, which led to a huge crop stock, which caused a drop in prices and eventually caused the farmers to become depressed. After seeing the high prices of bushel of wheat, I decided to plant more wheat so I could get more money. But of the sudden, the prices went down because every farmer had the same idea, which caused me to have a high stock of wheat that would not sell high. The ruining of the agriculture. On southern parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan, they got hit by a long-lasting drought. Large dust storms, called the Dust Bowl, and a large amount of grasshoppers eating the last of the crops. I lived in the parts of the Dust Bowls are active in. This caused many of the crops to be destroyed and my soil were swept away. When some of the crops survived this ordeal, the grasshopper ate the crops, leaving me with no crops for some days. Many of the farmers around me had already abandoned their farms. The wheat pool of the Great Depression. The wheat pool is formed to unite all the farmers in the three prairie provinces. Then the farmers shared the profit from the income of the wheat sold. I joined the wheat pool with a lot of other farmers, and when I was able to sell my wheat and made some income from the pool. Sometimes I did not get an income because of the non-paid loans. The beginning of the Agriculture Board. The government decided to create the Canadian Wheat Board and other agriculture marketing board, which the government had paid for any downfalls. The boards allowed the farmers to market their crops. The boards made the wheat pool to be less needed and have been useful to me to market the crops that have survived. William Lyon Mackenzie King. I expected him to not help us out of the Great Depression as he stated in the election. He did not do anything and waited out of the Great Depression and eventually ended 5 years later. He has met my expectation, but he could have done something to help us a little bit more. R.B. Bennett. I expected the Bennett would keep his promise on working on the exports of Canada so I can be able to sell crops to other countries. Bennett tried to give us farmers grants but was too late for the grants. He did not met my expectation because he did not keep his promise on working on the Canadian exports and he did not give us any grants. I expected the federal government would do something about the low marketing of the crops. They would support the wheat pool when we could not pay the loans, and they also created the agriculture boards for farmers up to market their crops. They met my expectation because they did something for the farmers so they did not have to pay their loans, therefore not making us in debt that we cannot pay. They also made it more easier for farmers to sell their products. Canada is a country that we can be proud of because of the farmers. The government gave some support when they needed and would help them sell their crops so that they could have an income in the end of the month.